This is a video for backline, a role of a backline tech. I'm going off notes that I wrote down. So a role of a backline tech would be tuning instruments, testing equipment, repairing instruments and equipment that have been broke, setting up and dismantling equipment, such as setting it up before the gig and dismantling it at the end and pack down, checking, maintaining and repairing equipment. So that would be before a gig you would get a guitar, check see if it's tuned, maintaining the condition of it, so you want to make sure it's spotless, or making sure that if the string is, I'm not quite sure what they called it, but I think it might be like frayed or something, you'd have to change the string, repairing like that, or if the neck breaks and it's like a two-part guitar, you can actually take the broken neck off and replace it with a new one. And maintain, check and repair equipment and instruments, so that could be from guitars, mic stands, amps, could be a bit of everything really. And be involved in the general setup of the stage and pack down at the end, so that just basically says it all for itself. Basically a backline tech can put themselves or his or herself in very, not difficult positions, but in dangerous situations, such as setting up some other backline techs could have set up something, left some wires all over the place, and then you as a backline tech could walk across the stage and trip over a wire. Obviously you could prevent that by, instead of just leaving the wire everywhere, you could coil it up and then leave it on the floor, or tape it up or put it back in the box, in the flight case. It could also include you going to an amp and electrocuting yourself, because say if or the fuse is blown and the preamp or the power amp valves, without you realising, you could touch one of them and you could burn yourself. And there is a variety of things, but I think the main thing would be being in a position of tripping over this, like not tripping over this stage, but tripping over hazards on the stage, such as wires, amps, guitars that have been left alone on the floor or not put on a guitar stand, mic stands. It can be a variety of things, but I think personally, when we did backline on a current show we did, I found it very, not hazardous, but very, backline struggled to maintain everything because there was so much going on the stage. I think in a normal, not setup of the stage, but in a business you could have 10 to 20 backline techs. If you are a big show or company, then I think something like that, it would be like, well, I can't think of the best way to explain it, but it'd be, instead of our show that we did, we had 3, whereas if you had a bigger show there'd be more people, so there'd probably be less, not hazards, but there'd be more people there to try and prevent them hazards if they was doing their job properly. But I think backline have a very difficult job at times, or can be given very difficult jobs, and I think most of the time it can be prevented, but most of the time it can't, because you could have put everything away after you. You could have coiled up your wires if you was a backline tech yourself, and then another backline tech could have just come up to you and gone, "Oh, have you done so and so?" You could, yeah, I've done it. It's over there. Then they use it and they leave it a mess. They are basically causing a hazard for everyone else, including yourself. Um, it is not a difficult job, but it is a job that you have to make sure that you have to not stay tidy or stay tidy, but you have to make sure that you have to not keep aware of yourself, but you have to be aware of others around you, because you never know what hazard could be around the corner. It's a very difficult job, I'd say. I think I would struggle to be a backline tech. I'm quite a messy person, but I think if you took on that job, you would have to become a much not cleaner, but would have to make sure that you tidy up after yourself and make sure you pick stuff up and make sure you have to go over every hazard that you could potentially come across. And it is quite a tiring and difficult job, because you have to make sure you were there at the end and before everyone. Like, you could backline tech have a very difficult job of being there before the artist probably even wakes up, setting up their set, making sure that everything works, making sure all the instruments are intact, and then they have to be there after the artist has gone to pack all their stuff down, and to make sure that everything gets put away properly. And it is not a difficult job, but it can be a really tough job at times. Backline, I think, would be a very good job to get into, because it's an interesting job, because you never know what the next day could bring. You could be going from a cheap acoustic guitar for a very small gig to going to a band selling out the O2 Arena and having Gibson SG guitars or Sennheiser microphones and very expensive equipment, which has to be maintained a lot of the time. So, thing is with backline, if you're doing guitars, then you would have to, if it's a rock band, then the string height of the guitar would have to be adjusted. So it's all little things like that. But I think I would give backline a go, but I think all the hazards and everything, it would be a very big challenge for them.